This podcast is part of the Frederick Podcast Network. Learn more at listenfrederick.com.
Beers in the Lot is partnered with the Hockey Podcast Network.
What's up, everybody? It's episode 161 of Beers in the Lot. Hey, real fast, be sure you check out beersinthelot.com for all the information that you could ever want about the podcast, including our Patreon and our merchandise store and the Discord and all the other good stuff. Be sure to check it out, beersinthelot.com. So in this one, me and the guys talked about hockey's rising influence in the southern United States, specifically the college club programs. And that led to a discussion about the return of a hockey franchise in Atlanta, Georgia, and then other expansion talk where a team might go. So let's get to it and crack the beers.
Damn, that smells so delightful. Aaron, what do you have this evening, sir?
Well, tonight, courtesy of Gooner, I have from Great South Bay Brewery, an original Blonde Ambition, blonde ale with natural flavor added. It's great. I like this. Thank you. Thank you, Gooner, for bringing these back. Apparently from Long Island. It says on the side, Long Island brewed.
Long Island.
Long Island. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. What do you have, John? Team No Pour over here. We're going to stick together.
Yeah, I have the exact same thing, but I have the strawberry or the She-Wolf flavored beer. And as soon as
Very
I cracked
fitting
it
for
open,
you.
I just gotta. Yeah, I agree.
Seen as you are strawberryista.
Yeah, yeah. Very, very lovely hints of strawberry fruit. One of my favorite berries. So I'm jacked. What about you, Daniel? What do you have?
So, I also have a beer courtesy of Goon Squad by Great South Bay Brewery, Blood Orange Blonde Ambition. So mine is made with blood orange. It's pretty good.
Nice.
Thanks a lot, Gooner. What do you got tonight, Riggs?
Also from Gooner, I have the lemon drop version of the Blonde Ambition series from Great South Bay on the South Shore on the island, I believe. This is not bad. I'm not usually a blonde ale guy, but with the fruit added, this is very good.
I could crush a few of these on a nice hot day.
Yeah. Yeah, these are definitely hot day beers, I think. Like beach beers.
Oh, it even says on the side, yeah. Perfect choice for beach, boat, and barbecue. I agree.
Absolutely. There we go.
These are crushers. Yep.
Well, yeah, when Gooner gave us these last night, I was even singing the song like, "Do you know the way to Great South Bay?" Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah.
That's
Anyway.
so,
Anyway.
Yeah.
I digress.
Anyway. Yeah.
Different
In other news.
different coast.
In other news, there is no news.
No, not
A
really.
little news. We skated last night. Right?
Did we, though?
Well,
Eric
did
broke his
last
stick.
night.
Eric broke his stick
Eric
in
broke his
anger.
stick.
I saw him.
Oh, boy.
No.
In anger.
No. 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 That the blade
Should've
just
seen it,
snapped
Danny.
in half.
You didn't even realize it, did you? Like
I didn't even
somebody
know.
Pointed out to you on the bench.
No, I was wiping snow off of it and I saw like a bubble in the tape and I was like, oh, it's the tape messed up, and then I felt my hand over it.
That's
And I
not
could
supposed to do that.
And I could feel the ridge where the blade was cracked right in half. And I was like, oh shit.
Something wrong here.
So that stick's broke.
you in the market for a new stick?
Yeah, but not Warriors. They suck.
He has a Bauer.
I don't
too.
have any tall enough for
Bowers fall apart faster than any other stick.
Actually, that's the one I broke, isn't it? It was a Bauer that I broke, right?
you. Correct. Yes.
Yeah. You don't want a Bauer. If I break in Bowers, then yeah,
Nobody
should have a Bauer.
Why don't you hop on Team Sherwood with Connor Bedard and Aaron Michaels, Rick? Why don't you do that? Team Sherwood athletes.
I'll use Sherwood
yeah,
because
right.
the Kachuk brother uses it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I am shopping. Because all my other sticks are older than like 10 years old. All the ones in the garage that I stopped using because they like lose like I don't know what happens, but
It's like a little pop. Yeah,
they
lose a little
don't like
pop.
when you shoot, like they're all dead. Like they don't feel right. So I gotta find something. I had to use my original CCM RBZ with the TaylorMade logo on the bottom of it. That was a pro stock bought at the Caps equipment sale like at least 10 years ago.
Whose stick was it?
Artifact.
Joey Crab.
Oh,
Joey Crab.
the crab.
Didn't he end up
Love
in
it.
like? I know he was with Hershey and then the Caps. Didn't he end up like in Toronto or something for a little bit?
I thought he came
or
from
did
Toronto,
he come
didn't he?
from them? Maybe.
I thought he came from Toronto
No.
like it was like free agent or like trade deadline or something. And it didn't last long, right? Like
Yeah.
He came from the Alaska Aces to the Washington Capitals in 2012. Well, the 2012-2013 season. Then went to the Bears, then went to the Panthers, then the Rampage down in San Antone in the Hartford Wolfpack. And then went to Sweden and played.
Oh,
He was
nice.
never in Toronto in the Toronto
I
organization.
thought he was in Toronto.
He was with the Maple Leafs in 2010 and 2011.
Yeah, that's
and then
what it
down to the
was.
Marlies. Yeah.
That's
And
what it was.
And then he
before
ended up in the
the
Coast League.
Leafs, he played for the Thrashers. He played 29 games for the Trashers back in 2008, 2009.
Now that Andrew Ladd, we're recording this Monday, he retired. He announced his retirement, long overdue. There are only 3 remaining NHL players that played for the Thrashers. Zach Bogosian is one. Can any of you guys name the other 2?
It's got to be Wheeler.
Wheeler's one.
Wheeler.
There's one more.
Oh, good pull. Good pull.
Yeah.
And
Do you want a hint?
Yeah.
Nobody likes him, but he's a very talented player, unfortunately. Off-ice issues. He got cut last season.
Kane?
Yeah, Kane.
Evander. Yeah.
Evander Kane, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you were going Patrick, too. Yeah.
No, I was not going Patrick.
That's what you're going Patrick on that, yeah. Nobody likes him. No, yeah.
I mean, he also had off-ice issues, so yeah.
Exactly. Weird. Maybe it's in the name.
But he didn't get cut.
No. Kane. Well, he did have surgery.
Did.
Different kind of cut. Yeah.
Didn't play for Atlanta either. So, yeah.
That's weird, man. I totally like forgot that when you said off-ice issues. I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure he played for them. That's fantastic.
I should have been like. Apparently, there was a rumor that Dustin Bufflin flicked him off after he threw his clothing in the shower. Evander Kane. Yeah. But yeah, once those 2 guys or 3 guys finish, then there'll be no more current Atlanta Trashers players in the league anymore. Oh well. Womp.
Yeah.
Meh. I mean, like, good idea trying to bring it to a massive media market like Atlanta, but it just didn't stick. That's a tough town to sell hockey in when you have like baseball and football and college sports and everything else. And basketball, like,
well, they're gonna try again.
That's crazy. That's almost as crazy as Arizona. Almost.
I mean, is it? I think it's probably a little bit more crazy than Arizona, but in some ways, I mean, hockey. Eric, you opened my eyes to this. The SEC, the Southeast Conference, is a huge hockey hotbed right now.
Oh yeah, for club hockey, yeah.
For club
it's
yeah.
huge. It's huge.
So I got to think that it's growing there. I mean, that certainly wasn't the case 10 years ago, and I have to think that maybe there's more interest this time around. Maybe a Georgia or a southeastern, southern states team, NHL team might find some success.
I don't think NC State is in that club hockey SEC, but they were posting videos of their opening night because they started this last weekend. kids were lined up around the block to get into that rink to watch NC State play, and the place was packed, and it was nuts.
That's
They're
awesome.
ACC.
And,
Like they mirror the
and-
conference. It's kind of cool.
And I was like, oh my God, when I was playing, holy shit, like 25 whatever plus years ago, like we would have killed for that.
Yeah.
We would have killed for that. Like for that number of people to come out and watch, like it's awesome. So, and then I was watching, I think Verbero, the hockey equipment company, is doing a lot of stuff with a lot of the SEC schools. So I know the Gators are a very popular jersey right now. So Verbero was like pumping that up because they're doing the uniforms for those guys. And, you know, they've got videos all over the place, and it's electric. Like the energy around those teams is insane right now. So
that's the key too. Is
That's awesome.
if you can drum up the interest in that fan base, it'll take off. I mean, you get some evangelists to get people to come to games, and those fan bases will absolutely rally around their sports team. I don't think it matters what sport. So if they're putting their logo on the front of the jersey, the fans from Bama, the fans from South Carolina, they're going to show up in droves to, especially once they figure out the sport's as exciting as it is. I think they have a shot this time around if they put another NHL team down there.
Yeah, Aaron, the one thing you kind of touched on with some of the, you know, SEC schools, those alumni associations are very active still, like in terms of like going to games, supporting other sports, whether they played it or they're just interested in the sport. I have a buddy I work with. He went to South Carolina, and he still has season tickets to the Gamecocks. He goes to every home game and quite a few of the road games if it's like in his schedule. And they haven't done so hot in the last couple of years, but since I started working with him, every Saturday, if you need him for anything, I mean, not work related, but just to, you know, bullshit on the weekend, you don't hear from him for 9 hours. He's tailgating and sitting in a bar somewhere, and then he's in the stadium.
I mean, how
so,
well
like,
are
it's
jerseys
awesome.
that
Like,
say
that's cool.
Cox on them? Like, that's going to sell.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
that's
already do. They already do.
Right? We saw that.
It's huge. Yeah, it's huge. The South Carolina Gamecocks jerseys right now for club hockey, like you see them on TV. Like I'm pretty sure I've seen them like on ESPN before, like Bucci Gross wearing them or somebody was wearing them. Like, so it's going to get there. Like whether pro hockey works out, who knows? Like in Atlanta or wherever. I would think actually a second team in Texas would work better, but like in San Antonio or Austin or something. Maybe
or
Houston, maybe not. Yeah, maybe. But I bet, you know, NCAA D1, like there's going to be a school that comes out of the South, much the way that ASU did. You know, they start out, they're independent, and then it grows from there, right? And they you know, they find a conference, or they basically drag everybody with them in the SEC.
Yeah, you look at a school like Penn State, where they added a men's and women's hockey team, and the alumni association with that school is very involved in all their sports. So you look at the success both programs have had in the short period of time. So, you know, you kind of translate that to an SEC school where the weather's a little nicer down in the South, and all year round, and very active student body supporting all their sports, regardless of what it is. Imagine if they did have kind of a, really great SEC rivalry where you're looking at like Tennessee, Arkansas, Bama, Mississippi State, even, stuff like that. I don't even know the order that they would go, but that'd be pretty cool. I mean, especially if, like, let's say Florida State and Florida, like they were the first two, so they could have an in-state battle, shit like that. I mean, that'd be awesome. Just for college hockey. That would be like a really good way to like galvanize more, I think, schools to kind of go, wow, look at the success they're having,
Absolutely.
Yeah. I just Googled this. I had no idea this is a thing. My spot in the top 50 all-time Arkansas-born hockey players might be in jeopardy. Because apparently the Arkansas Razorbacks have a club hockey team.
Oh,
yes.
There's 26 players there.
Yeah.
How long have they been around, Aaron?
I don't have that info. But they play teams like Purdue. They play Michigan.
Yeah.
They play Oklahoma State University in Oklahoma. Like they play Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit. Aaron,
your ass is in the jackpot.
Michigan, but
yeah, your ass is in the jackpot now. You're not in that top 50. That's stolen valor.
Yeah, right.
Stolen valor.
I'm probably still in the top 25 curlers in Arkansas, but I don't know about hockey. But,
all right, we'll give you that. Give you that.
No, apparently they played Michigan, number 3 Michigan, back in March and got smoked 5-1. But they did score.
ACHA.
So, hey, there's
ACHA.
that.
Yeah, but still, like
that's awesome.
Something.
Yeah,
a lot of those club teams could easily beat D3 teams. So, like, it's not,
Well, I mean, look at ASU. They started out as club. They played like half schedule one year, and the coach, their Division I coach is the same coach that was there at club for a billion years, which is cool. He was able to graduate up with a program. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel better. I'm looking at the roster. There's not a single Arkansas-born player on this team, so I'm all right for now. I'm safe.
Imagine
for now.
that.
Weird.
If the residents now, then you're out.
No, their hometowns are like Texas. They're actually all around the South: Texas, Missouri, Georgia. I mean,
you mean Missouri?
There's yes, Missouri.
Yeah.
Missouri. But they're all Southerners, not
right.
all Canadians and everything, which is kind of what I expected.
See, Aaron's trying to make that list into Swiss cheese now, so he could stay in.
Yeah,
he's like, I gotta stay in the top easier, right? Like, well, I don't know if you guys knew this. You have to be in the state and born in the state, so can't really be.
He's the one making the rules.
Yeah,
Aaron's making the rules.
No, you have to be born between these years and in Little Rock.
Yeah. Aaron's like a mayor in a small town of Maryland. I've heard about.
But anyway, I definitely I'm excited to see how hockey does in the South, because all it takes is some exposure and people realize that this game is amazing. And all it takes is a little bit of watching, go to a game. I mean, ideally put some skates on and get a stick in your hands, and people are going to want to keep playing. They're going to want to see and watch as many games as they can. Like that's all it takes. It's just exposure. So the more that is happening, especially with some big schools in the SEC and so on, like it's just going to take off from there. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's take a quick break here to hear about our sponsors.
Football is back in full swing with another week of epic games. And who's got you covered on the action for every single one of them? DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet $5 on football and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Nobody's missing out on the action this season. All DraftKings customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every game this September. Get in on the NFL Week 2 action with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use code THPN to sign up. New customers can bet just $5 and take home $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code THPN. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility terms and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply.
So thinking, kind of tying it back to the Atlanta Thrashers debate, do you think they would be better off if, like, let's call it 3 or 4 Southern schools, whether it's ACC or SEC, jump into NCAA Division I hockey, or they get like a American team or another Coast team? I mean, Coast, they have a ton like in the South already, but you get an American League squad where it's, one step up a little. See some kids that are definitely going to play in NHL.
They already have the Gladiators there, right? So
I thought they have Coast, though.
Yeah, but they have pro hockey in town, right?
Yeah,
and they've been there for a while. So I think like the argument for the NHL going back is that it is a large market. You know, it's a very large metro area. It is a sports town, but is it a sports town that is going to support hockey again for a third time?
Yeah.
Right. I don't know.
Well,
you know,
it'd probably be best if they just move Arizona to Atlanta, and then Atlanta can go somewhere else. So just be a stepping stone. It's fine.
Well, my
Just-
also general fear too is my fear, and Danny's kind of hitting on it. You know, if they put another team in Atlanta, all these people that want Arizona to stay, they're like, "See, we're gonna try again." I'm like, no. You're a one-off
Well,
situation, and you shouldn't exist. Like, go.
Well, Atlanta probably would have a stadium, so
There is that.
Yeah,
that's one thing.
yeah. They would have.
That's a
They would
leg
have
up.
an ample arena.
It's
Yeah.
kind of important thing. I don't know.
Well, I was reading something. Apparently, the owner of the Jazz, like he said, they can get that arena ice ready or like put ice making capabilities in there like very quickly. And he's been very vocal.
I could see a
what's-
team doing well there.
in Salt Lake, it would be good because you have
Yeah.
a lot of natural rivalries right there. I mean, you
Yeah.
have like one with Vegas, California teams. You're in the Pacific area, so you get Seattle, Vancouver, you know, all those
Right.
teams in the Pacific Northwest and then the Pacific Division. It'd be pretty easy. And Arizona already plays in the Pacific, so like literally you wouldn't change anything except for like,
Just move the team.
you know. Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
I think it's super easy to like try to compare the markets, like try to compare southern markets, like Dallas, even the Florida teams, Nashville for one, and then try to make analogs to how Atlanta might function, how it might work or whatever, and even to like Arizona too. And the truth of the fact of the matter is, none of these markets are the same. None of these markets are close to the same.
yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
I don't even think that you can make the comparison that an Atlanta team compared to any of those markets is even anything close. And it stinks because you'd like to be able to compare an Atlanta market to a Nashville market where it feels like that might be similar, but
It's not.
it's not.
No,
It's just
it's not at all.
And even though we're talking about like, oh yeah, hockey's had time to get bigger and it's different than it was 12 years ago or 15 years ago or whenever it was that Atlanta moved. I don't think you can tell. I don't think you could possibly predict this apart from
But
putting a franchise there and seeing how it works.
that's
Which
why
sucks.
that's why I leave the question open, right? Because there is a big push right now. There are some big names behind looking into Atlanta again for the third time for an NHL franchise. And that's why I leave the question open, because I just think it's not, even now, however many years later, it's not going to work. We've already done this. We did it, 4 decades ago. We did it a decade or so ago. Like it's just not going to work there, and that's okay. It's not a bad thing. It's just the way it is. Like, and that's fine. And maybe 10 years from now, things do change, but I don't see it. And the other thing is, like, I was actually having a very similar conversation with someone about this like a week and a half ago after kids practice. Similar stuff like Atlanta, Arizona, whatever. The league now is so much driven by TV revenue that it's not even about like, oh, Atlanta's a major metropolitan area. There's so many people, blah, 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 and they're going to go to the games and this and that. And, it's not about that. It's literally about like how many eyes are going to be on the product on an every night basis. And if you don't feel like that's going to be there, then you can't invest in it as the NHL or as a potential ownership group or whatever. So I'm sure there are very smart people that are figuring that out. and know how that works. And I don't know what the right answer is for Atlanta, but I don't feel like that's a market that could support it from a TV revenue standpoint. Like nobody's gonna like go out of their way to watch that. And maybe that's why like Vegas worked and Seattle worked, because there was all that hype around, oh, it's the Kraken and what are they going to do with that? And like Vegas really has the blue pregame shenanigans and everything that goes on. And hey, we want you to televise this because we want eyes on it. Maybe they follow the same model, but I don't know how that works down there.
You kind of touched on what I was thinking when we were talking about like Nashville. They have a gimmick.
Yes.
Right. It's
right.
like Music City, like country. Their atmosphere is loud. It's fun to go to a game. Like, even if they're not winning or whatever, like it's fun. Like the atmosphere is fun. Vegas, you got their pregame stuff. You got, all the night stuff. And I mean, they just, they want to stay in the cup and, they're winners now, but they kind of had a gimmick at the beginning to get the people in the building and to be excited. So you think like these new NHL teams coming in, they need some sort of gimmick to kind of just get like a good energy around the team and get a good fan base from people who maybe aren't even really hockey fans. They're like, maybe I'll check out this hockey game.
But Danny, you touched on it a little bit. Besides the gimmick, I think you need to be competitive, and like Seattle and Vegas, they've been very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And
Seattle went to the playoffs this year, right? So
they went to the second round.
They're doing well.
So for them, they did very well. Vegas won a cup. I mean, so like if you look, and even last year, Seattle did fairly well. I mean, the wheels fell off the track like halfway through the season, but they were competitive in a lot of the season. They weren't a pushover like some teams. So like, I think if you come in and you're competitive, I think that goes a long way. Like when the Thrashers came in last time, they were not a competitive team, and they were in Eric and the South League.
I don't think it
East Division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think they fixed that with the draft, with like the draft rules now, or not the draft rules, but
the thing about all that is like it doesn't matter, because the league is not going to allow a franchise to go there unless it benefits the entire NHL.
Right.
Unless they know that, oh, we're going to have 300,000 viewers for every regional broadcast, or whatever the number is supposed to be on average for the regional broadcast. And then when we put them on national TV, because we're going to have to put them on national TV, we know we're going to have so many million, right? Because that's how we're going to sell the sponsorships and the ads, right? So and I don't know what the formula is. I don't know what the right numbers are, but I feel like they did it. They've done it all before, and I think they have an idea, and I don't know if it works down there. I just don't.
Me personally, I'd rather see another market. Like, let's try somewhere else, guys. Like, I hate saying it, but like, go to a Canadian market that would be able to support a team. Like Quebec, or another team in Ontario.
Where in Quebec though?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm sure it would support
outside of Montreal. Outside of Montreal, there's no metropolitan area that is bigger than a couple 100,000.
Correct.
So from a TV standpoint, it makes no sense. It makes no sense, right? They'll fill the building every night, but that's not how they're making money anymore.
Oh yeah. The ownership will do well with merchandise sales and their ticket sales, but in terms of like you're talking about TV revenue,
they're not making money. They're not making money off the gate anymore, and even concessions. They're not making money off that anymore.
Yeah, no. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's the thing. Like, where could you feasibly put a team? Like, let's not even talk about adding an expansion team, because we're at 32. I don't think the league would go to 33. That's just dumb. from a scheduling perspective and a conference perspective, it just doesn't make sense.
Right.
So let's say we're doing relocation. We know the franchise. We don't even need to name it. We've named it too many times. So where the hell are you going to move it outside of Salt Lake City? Like where it seems like Salt Lake City from everything you read.
I do go back to like the second team in Texas. I think could work.
Tejas would be all right.
I think between like San Antonio, Austin, and maybe Houston, like there's a way to make it work there.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of another team in a big market. Honestly, I can't. And the only other one that comes to mind is like Kansas City, but I don't see that. They're not going to support a team because half of the season's football. And that's a football town. So they're not. So
yeah, I don't
like I just don't see where you're going to get another team like to put another in. And New York's already tapped out. You have 2 in the New York metro market and then Buffalo.
You have 3 technically, but
yeah, I'm thinking of like New York City proper with the Islanders and the Rangers, and then Buffalo's upstate.
Oh, you have the Devils too.
Oh yeah, they're in Jersey. But yeah, still pretty much just across the Hudson. It's not crazy. Because I'm sure, actually, I think half of the Devils do live in New York anyway. So, which is smart. Yeah, I don't know where you would put another team. I can't even think of another market really where you would. Now that Seattle's in the mix, it's like, that was the only other logical one for years, you know? So, and they're getting a Winter Classic this year, which would be sick. So
it's gonna be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. They play Vegas too. So like 2 teams in the top 5 of revenue for the league are gonna be on air.
And they're not Pittsburgh or Boston or Chicago
or
New
York
or Washington or
or the other
Toronto,
teams that have had 7 Winter Classics.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, I liked a few years ago they did Dallas and Nashville. I was like, this is great. And all the, a lot of fans showed up for it. I always watched the Winter Classic, but it was like, thank God it's 2 teams I've never seen in a fucking outdoor game. Yeah. I'm sick of So like Chicago is literally like 2 stripes on a jersey near the end. They're like, their marketing department's like, I don't know what to do for a jersey. Like, change the fucking stripe, dude.
Put a big C on it.
Yeah, put a big C on it.
Let's put a big P on the jersey and call it.
Put a big yellow P on it.
That was harkening back to like the old Pirates. But
yeah, fine. But still, they're out of ideas. They've had so many, they've run out of ideas.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
I know. I was shocked, like they didn't just go like, just pick a WHA team. We'll just throw their logo on there. What was close? Cleveland Stingers? Yeah, throw them on there. Like, who cares?
All right, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for your listen. We always appreciate it. Be sure to check out the website at beersandthelot.com, and we will see you next Wednesday. Have a good one.